for Blumpkin&Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me here today is my friend
Jake.
Hello, sir. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You may recognize Jake's voice from the episode I did with he and his wife when we did the second Newlywed Game.
Yeah.
He was anxious to get back on, so here he is.
Yeah.
And being that he's a fellow dad, I wanted to do a topic that applies to parents. Being a parent myself, and then having parents, obviously, because I wasn't grown in a fucking petri dish, I've learned some things from my parents, and that's how to not watch my mouth. Like, at all. They do not. It's terrible.
So this might be a little like good cop, bad cop.
Maybe.
Because I'm kind of the opposite. I've learned to think about what I'm going to say before I do. And
whereas I have no filter and I just let loose with whatever I can because I don't care. I stopped caring a long time ago. There was a point in time when I cared, and I think I stopped around the time that the Chi-Chi was born. Because as the story goes, I was playing Xbox one day. The Juice was taking a nap. And she wakes up and then she's running around the kitchen and she's watching me play, and every time I die I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I said that a few times. I'm like, yeah, I should probably not say that in front of the kid. Because at the time, the Juice was like 2.5. So the next time it happened, I'm like, what the? And I caught myself, and she goes, fuck. I'm like, uh-oh. But it was also adorable. It's one of those things where you know you should not let them see that you find it cute because they might start to emulate it more often. They're going to start doing it all the time.
Yep.
Such is the case with the Chi-Chi herself, who, as I've proclaimed on this show and on the What Do We Call It podcast, that she had a problem for a while repeating me because I always say, God damn it, all the time. Maybe it's a product of being raised Catholic. It seems that people that are raised in the church say, God damn it, a hell of a lot more than people who aren't.
Well, they probably realize how powerful God is and, he can actually do it, right? Maybe not.
Well, I'm an atheist, so I don't really worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried that there's going to be like a running tally when I get up there. Like, oh, shit.
Sure.
That's a big abacus.
Yep.
What do all those beads mean? Oh, those are each 100,000 uses. There's a lot of those.
Yep.
God damn it.
The Chi-Chi, as the setup goes, is I'm laying on the couch doing my best parenting possible because I'm half asleep. And they're playing, and the Chi-Chi's running back and forth, and I said, God damn it, about something, and she's like, God damn it. God damn it, God damn it. And she's maybe 14, 15 months old at this instance. So I'm like, don't say that. You're not supposed to say God damn it. She's like, okay. So I close my eyes. I go back to sleep. I can feel her walking by my head. And she gets right up by my ear and she goes, God damn it. And then she just walks away. I open my eyes. She's got this shitty grin on her face like, ha ha, fuck you, Dad. And I'm just like, look at the attitude of her. And because I had a reaction, instead of just pretending it didn't happen, she thought it was adorable. Which it was, but I shouldn't have let her know that.
Yeah, it's quite a game.
You're supposed to discourage that.
Yep.
I mean, your daughter, for instance, never really sworn, I'm assuming?
No, not a whole lot. She's pretty good. I think we got a good one. She doesn't test us a whole lot.
No.
I try not to swear around her, so that probably has something to do with it too, but no one can help a man when they're driving in their car down 35W and there's some asshole in the left lane going 65 miles an hour and they pass a fucking speed limit sign that says 70, clearly, and they make them extra large on 35W.
They do. Extra
large. So then, God damn it, motherfucker, what the hell are you doing comes out. And then I kind of, I just dropped that and looked back at her, and she's just like sucking her thumb. Eyes are a little large, but nothing too crazy.
Well, see, the car is where I learned to swear.
Yeah, I think
when I was a kid.
I think that's where everybody learns to swear, pretty much.
We were in Florida, and I was 8, and my parents got lost, and they start going back and forth at each other. And as I've said, suddenly my mind was completely just exploding with all this ticklish glee at all these interesting words that were expanding my vocabulary. And I learned how hilarious those words were because I had never really heard them before. Or at least if I had, I'd never paid attention to them because the sheer volume of filth they were throwing back and forth at each other like a game of verbal ping pong. They were at war, and it was because somebody missed an exit. And then I started using those words, and then they told me how terrible they were, and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this. Ooh. Boom. Of all my friends, I learned to swear the earliest, believe it or not, and I did it the most, also believe it or not. And once upon a time ago, a friend of mine's wife said, you have the filthiest mouth of anyone I've ever met. And I was like, thank you. I try. By not trying to hold back.
Then you've achieved your goal.
I have.
You're there.
But, I mean...
You're on the top of the mountain.
I've only told two of the most infamous stories. There's other ones. Now, this is last summer. Like a full year ago, we were at the playground. And some kid was being mean to Chi-Chi, and she goes, he's being mean to me, and he's throwing wood chips, and I'm tired, and I don't care. I'm like, oh, yeah. Tell him to stop being an asshole then. I don't know. She walks over to this kid. She goes, hey, you don't be an asshole. And I'm like, I did not think that she was actually going to say that. And I'm out loud telling that to the woman sitting on the bench next to me who's laughing with her adult daughter. Like, I guess she didn't know any better. I've told them, these are adult words. You don't get to use them. Which the juice has totally grasped onto the concept. She will not swear. She doesn't want to swear. She's afraid to swear. She's like, I don't want to be bad. I don't want to say naughty words, Daddy. But the Chi-Chi's like, oh, what word did you say? Can I say that word?
Yep, see, I got the good one. She's afraid to swear.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes if you have a parent that just cusses superfluously, you'll get a child that knows they're not supposed to because they start really soaking in the knowledge and the context of the social situations in which you use and other people's reactions and how you'll hear, those are naughty words, you're not supposed to say them. So the juice she took to it, but the Chi-Chi, she loves to test new words. So, I mean, there's that asshole instance at the playground. There's another time we were in the car and I'm driving and some guy, I don't even know what he did, but I was just like, motherfucker. And in the back seat I hear, motherfucker? Yeah, that's a bad word. That's a bad word. She's like, oh, is it an F word? I'm like, yeah. So I can't say it? No. Can I say it when I'm a grown-up? Yeah, when you're a grown-up, you can say all the F words you want. I don't care.
All day long.
Words.
All day long.
To which, once upon a time ago, in the middle of a conversation, completely unrelated, she says to my mom, Grandma, Daddy says when I'm a grown-up, I can say all the F words I want. So I'm going to say all the F words. And my mom's reaction was, you didn't really say that, did you? I'm like, yeah, I did, actually. It's a very intelligent way to communicate the point across to her. Like a human being, like an adult. I told her, hey, you can't say those words right now until you're grown. And then she got the message. Except for a few, instances when she slips. And then just any word she doesn't know now, that she goes by the tone of my voice. I think she's caught on.
Oh,
and if I'm angry, she'll ask, what's the word you just said? What word? That word. That other word you just said. I'm like, what one? I try to trick her into swearing now.
That one where you were pissed off, it must have been a good one.
She's like, you just said a word. I don't know what it is. Can I say that word? I don't know what you are talking about. Now, there's one word in particular she loves to say, and that is shitbird.
Wow.
Because
that's a good one.
I called her that one a lot. And then I said to her, I'm like, hey, shitbird. And she goes,
hey, shitbird.
Well, when you say it like that, I can't be mad. But I'm like, you can't say that anymore. Because she said it in front of her other grandma, the Beast's mom, who acts like she's way more strict. And she's just like, I can't believe she said that. I'm like, well, in my defense, I called her a shitbird, and then she just repeated it. But I've told her not to use it. So now she asks if she can say it. Which is why there's a soundbite on the show of her going,
hey, shitbird.
I can use it whenever. I throw it in for filler from time to time.
Yeah.
Hey, boys and girls, it's time for another. Hey, boys and girls. Hey, boys and girls. Hey, boys and 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 girls. It's time for another ITradio fucking fucker shitting ass tits beer.
Like a
You're
couple
not
of
that
skeletons.
skinny.
I'm not that skinny.
No,
You haven't seen me, have you? Probably not recently.
I fucking weigh 160 pounds. I haven't gained or lost a pound in like 5 or 6 years or more.
It must be because of the large clothes that you wear.
Yeah.
He's truly trying to... he's self-conscious.
I mean, I have broad shoulders, but that totally... That's just looking at me from the front. Looking at me from a profile, it's like, oh my God, where'd he go?
I guess I haven't really looked at you that close. I'm sorry.
I guess you shouldn't close your eyes when we make love.
Well, I can't really look at you in the eye. I just don't have that much respect for you.
But he will.
God, that would be horrible. I just pictured what that would be like. Ugh. Oh, God. You fucking rubbing dicks and you're just looking me in the eyes with that wistful I love you. Oh, God, that's horrible. Oh, God, that would be horrible.
You got those tingles.
I wouldn't even be able to, like, laugh. I just start weeping uncontrollably. Like, I feel so dirty. It just make it better for you.
Blumpkin just wants to punch. Blumpkin is getting a bad vision of. He's like, damn it, they figured it out.
No, every time you say make love, no, I flash back to that horrible image I have of Frosty flailing around on top of me, all sweaty, with this fucking dorky smile on his face, like he's enjoying it so much, and it's just like the equivalent to being in a Holocaust.
Don't forget, I have a very hairy body too.
Oh God! I didn't think you could make that worse,
when you pull on it.
Just did.
Like when you're like trying to get him away, so you start pulling on it. He actually likes that,
and he'd be like, "God, oh yeah,
yeah, that's grab onto my fur."
You're listening to Blumpkin&Friends.
Your parents. Now, mine raised Catholic, both of them. They were potty mouths. Oddly enough, as they've gotten older, have sworn less. Maybe because I'm shouldering the weight for all three of us in that department. What about your folks?
My mom never swore.
Ever?
Nope. Never.
What if something broke suddenly?
She would just not swear. I don't know. She never did it.
Was she one of those, gosh dang it, son of a gun type people?
Yeah. I mean, it took a lot for her to swear. If she swore, you knew something bad was going to happen. And she's just one of those people that are too nice that, that bad thing never happened. So, but my dad, on the other hand, he had a vocabulary of swear words and tried to keep them to himself as much as possible. But, driving around the car and slamming hammers on your thumbs and working around the house, whatnot, these things come out, Mostly the shits, the fuck. I don't know. Nothing too crazy. He probably wasn't as adverse as most people, but just kept it simple and straightforward. And so I picked up the big ones real early on, and never got too much lashback on dropping the F-bombs or the shits, once I was, probably when I was little I did, but, I think once you get into 10 years old, maybe, I don't know. I was
that
kinda,
good Tom Sawyer Huck Finn
That's
age.
right. I was kind of out of the house. Summertime, I was never home, so, I mean, it kind of played into it, too. They don't know what the hell you're doing, so they can't scold you for it, right?
Well, it was funny because once upon a time ago, it's another fun story. I'm down in the basement with my dad cleaning the part of the basement that was my playroom. All my toys just went down in this one room. It was a fucking disaster. And inside this Little Tykes giant football-shaped toy box was a notepad. And I'd forgotten that I practiced writing swear words in it. So he's cleaning it, and he's like, hey, what's this? I'm like, what? He's like, hell, damn, shit, hell, damn. And I start laughing because my dad just said a swear word. He's like, it's not funny. Then he caught himself. He's like, don't laugh at it. He's like, hell, damn, shit, hell, damn. Where do you get this? I'm like, I learned to swear from you. They still say, no, you didn't. We don't talk like that. Yes, you did. I didn't just magically poof these words out of thin air and pump them into my brain. Now, hands down, the funniest use of a cuss word my dad ever made. As we're leaving Coon Rapids Middle School after a basketball game, he's pissing and moaning about us not playing good defense because he was playing coach that day. The real coach was on vacation. I don't understand why you guys didn't get more rebounds. It's like you were half asleep out there all you, and some guy cuts him off and he squeals on the brakes, locks him up, and just all the windows are closed because it's winter. Right. And he screams at the windshield, motherfucker! Hard not to laugh when a man does that. He's like, it's not funny, don't laugh about it. He has those momentary, like it builds up with him. It's a rage that swells and then just goes off like a volcano. But still to this day, when I hear people swear out of the blue, it makes me laugh. It should elicit somewhat of a chuckle.
Yeah, absolutely.
At work, and you got any potty mouths at work?
My parents just never had they never tried to put on that facade of, oh, I'm proper, I need to be proper and not swear, blah, blah, blah. They were pretty much, kind of neutral and just did what they did. So there wasn't a whole lot of that. When it came out for me, it wasn't like, Dad just swore at a car. That's awesome. I mean, it kind of happened all the time, which was still awesome, but it didn't have that wow factor. And, I work with a bunch of shop guys. There's plenty of swearing and colorful name calling and that kind of thing going on for sure. Yeah.
I worry about today's youth that are growing up in the new PC social justice warrior age in the workplace, where you can't even really tease each other for fun.
Yeah.
Because somebody might overhear it and then go cry into the uppers. And then you get hauled to the back for a meeting to be talked to about your language.
Yeah, I know. I do as well. I work in a place where I feel like I'm in the 70s.
That's good, though.
That kind of feel of a company, as far as work ethic, and there's maybe 4 girls that work there. Yeah, women. All the rest of them are white males. So it's kind of like a step back in time. So yeah, there's plenty of. Everyone has a nickname. If you do something stupid, you're gonna probably get a nickname attached to yourself for the rest of your tenure at that company for it. So
that's lovely.
Yeah, it's quite.
Now the ladies that work in an environment full of guys, do they have the same kind of potty mouths? Because it seems like in that type of setting, they're only going to hire women who end up emulating the guys. The ladies just learn to hang.
No, not really. I mean, it's half and half. I mean, all the ladies work in the office, so they're very separated from the shop guys. And so yeah. So there's one of them is just a complete bitch. One of them is kind of a prude bitch that is kind of hoity-toity, and one of them's pretty down to earth and swears with the guys, could hang out with the guys every day, and a little bit of everything with the ladies there. But
see, at the jail now, we have a pretty healthy mix of some people who don't ever swear, but they came from that time when you could get away with like walking into work one day and seeing your coworker with some slip-ons or something like nice shoes, faggot, and then just going about your day like nothing happened, like you didn't just use a homophobic gay slur. I miss those times because he's not like, hey, faggot, nice shoes. I know it doesn't seem like there's a difference between those two phrases, but if you're talking to a gay man or a straight man, if you lead with faggot versus leading with shoes, that should tell you whether you're just insulting somebody or attacking them for their sexuality. I would never go up to a gay guy and be like, hey, faggot, how's your day? But if there was some guy that was sitting there who I knew was not gay, and he was like very daintily spreading some jam on a piece of bread, like some small little fucking Italian roll bread, be like, what the faggy fuck are you doing there, Miss Muffet? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a fine line. I have the belief that if you can't take it, man, you're going to have a rough time out there, no matter what. I don't care where you're working. If you're going to be that sensitive about everything in your life, man, you're not going to. But a lot of people are going that way. And
well, the other extreme at the jail is from the people that never swear, that came from the time when you could, to the people now that are younger that just swear like crazy. And they know they shouldn't, and they tell us we can't, but we still just do it because we don't care.
Right.
It's unnatural to be that prim and proper. There was a guy I work with who one time said, like, you're really going to sit back and not say anything to him, for crying out loud. I just thought to myself, for crying out loud, will you please say anything else? Will you please say, for fuck's sake? Will you act like we're not in a goddamn rerun of Ozzie and Harriet? You're killing me right now.
Yeah, I got a pretty good example of that one in my workplace. My boss is very, very watches his P's and Q's. He cannot say the wrong thing. It's like every time he talks, there's like about that long of just a silence before, and you can just see the gears in his head working. What am I gonna say?
He's trying to formulate what words he can get away with.
I can't fuck this up. This needs to be right, and I need to cover all bases, every angle of it. I mean, it's just like annoying. God, it's just like, would you just talk like a human? And every once in a while, he just gets backed up into a corner, and he just is about to lose it. And one time we were arguing about some part numbers, going from sales to engineering, blah, 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 bullshit. And it's just like been a thorn in his side for years and years. And he just literally backed up to the door of the meeting room. And he said, I am getting angry and I need to leave. I am getting angry and I need to leave. He just kept saying that over and over and over and over again, and we just kept kind of arguing,
Sounds like he was on the verge of having a stroke.
Oh, yeah. It was hilarious, man.
Jesus.
He was just like, just let it fly, man. Just come on. Give it to us. Let's hear it.
I'm upset, and I'd like you all to know that I'm upset.
Yeah.
So let's just take a moment to all breathe deep and relax, because I don't want to say anything that I can't take back.
Yep.
Like how you're being very rude and unappreciative. I would hate to have to say that to your faces.
That's right. I mean, if you want to call us dipshits, call us dipshits. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. I just don't think it's healthy to hold it all in like that.
Because you might. It's like trying to hold in a sneeze. You might injure yourself.
I know.
At that point, I would have been like, "Here's a paper bag. Go into the next room, huff into it a few times until you calm the fuck down, and come back in here once your other ball drops again."
That's right.
Because you are making us all feel crazy. I'm getting upset. I need to leave the room. That's wow, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He sounds like Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like he's a fucking android.
Yeah, he's very robotic. That's pretty hilarious.
Jesus. There was a time once I'm sitting at my desk at work, and this guy don't work there anymore, but he was one of my favorite of all time coworkers. And he was like 15 years older than me. He'd been in Desert Storm. He had seen some shit. And he's in his office doing some paperwork that we have to fill out by hand. And if you mess up one detail, you got to start over. What it is a predatory offender registry packet.
Oh.
So you either kidnapped somebody or did something sexual to somebody, and now you're on the offender registry for that.
Right.
So you got to fill all this shit out by hand. What address they're moving to, and the phone numbers. And he fucked up like 2 or 3 in a row. And then he's like, all right, this is the last one I'm doing, so just keep your fingers crossed for me. And I'm talking to some female inmate, and all of a sudden the calm is shattered from the next room with,
God damn it, the fuck all shit!
And I just burst out laughing. He's like, it's not funny. Shut up. And he closed his office door. And I got the giggles.
Yeah, I would too.
Filth makes me laugh.
Yep.
So I lost it in front of this inmate, and she's like, are you going to be all right? I'm like, you don't find that humorous? It took me back to an instance where I was in juvenile criminal justice class. Like, it dealt with strictly the juvenile criminal justice system. It was one class for an entire semester. And our teacher was this lady that I think she had her nipples pierced because the high beams were always on.
Wow.
But she was not the most attractive lady. She was full-figured.
Well,
I guarantee she's the kind of broad that would totally give you an under-the-table handy J at a booth when you're eating in the back restaurant of a bowling alley.
Oh.
Very educated, but not so classy that she's not above doing some dirty old truck stop manuals. Give you the old-fashioned.
Real down-to-earth kind of gal.
Right. And she said something, and I laughed. She said digital penetration. It's not even a swear word. She said digital penetration. And I smirked, and she just went, okay, calm down, Beavis. Which I don't know if anybody in the class besides me really got that reference, because it had been a while since Beavis and Butthead were on the air.
I don't get it.
Yeah, really? When was this class?
This was in 2004.
Oh, come on.
They had not been on. It was before MTV brought them back for that short-lived revival that sucked a bag of dicks.
Jesus.
Where suddenly there was what did it for me on the Beavis and Butthead revival was a Cornholio episode. Where, back in the day, he'd eat a bunch of sugar and he'd have like a hyper sugar fit and become Cornholio.
Oh, yeah.
In this one...
Shirt over the head, the whole 9 yards, yeah.
They were at some cult compound and he found a bottle of Oxycontins. So he was high on opiates, which to me, I was like, that's too much. No, you have completely ruined the childhood glee was a man freaking out, like a 15-year-old teenage boy freaking out like a 5-year-old that got into his grandma's candy stash, which actually was close to what happened in Beavis and Butthead to America on the bus. When the lady's like, oh, are you hungry? And he's like, what do you got here? Let me see. He goes digging through the purse. And he's just down in the fucking mints. She's like, oh, you go ahead and take whatever you like. And he freaks out on the bus. And that was before they did the whole Cornholio at the Hoover Dam thing. And now, story time. Probably said this many times, because I've noticed it throughout my life. I always kind of had almost like I think something's funny and I say it before I think it through. I don't know if that counts for Tourette's. Like, I don't just say shit uncontrollably. Yeah. But case in point, when I was in 7th grade, I probably should have thought this joke out more before I said it out loud. We were in gym class sitting on the bleachers, and my gym teacher, Miss Thomas, had her high school yearbook out. And just joking, I'm like, hey, Miss Thomas, they got any pictures of you in there from before you were a woman?
Oh, shit.
And she's like, my office now.
Like, but it was funny.
Well, my friends laughed, but there were a lot of people that were like, oh, there was a mixture of joy and people that were aghast.
Right.
And that's a pretty good example. Like, you say something and you think it's going to have one reaction and it doesn't. So as soon as it comes out of your mouth, you realize that, no, it wasn't as funny as you thought it would be. You wish you could grab the words out of the air and shove them back into your mouth. And unfortunately, as soon as the toothpaste's out of the tube,
that's it.
It ain't going back in there.
That's it.
You're listening to Blumpkin&Friends.
We have reached the portion of the show where it's time to play a game.
Oh, yay.
Yes, and I know last time you said you weren't bashful.
Yeah, I'm not very bashful.
That's good, because it's time to play Guess Who Karaoke Roulette.
Guess Who Karaoke Roulette.
Okay.
Here's how the game works. There's one famous person. You have 5 clues. You get 3 guesses at their identity. You can guess gradually as the clues go on if you think you know it. Or you can save all 3 guesses for once you've heard all the clues. And then I upped the ante on this one. You can cash in 2 guesses to leave yourself with a single solitary guess, but I'll give you a 6th clue that is normally almost a dead giveaway. You guess it, I sing. You don't guess it, you sing. And most of the time I join in and it becomes a duet and it's fun and I got a song picked out in the whole 9 yards. But I won't tell you what it is till we get there.
Okay, so let me get this straight. 5 clues.
5 clues.
3 guesses.
3 guesses. If you wait till the end, you can trade 2 guesses for another clue.
If I get it, you sing. Yeah. If I don't, I sing.
Yes.
Okay.
Clue number 1. Born September 29th, 1957, in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, it really narrows it down.
Right. Clue number 2. Real last name is Silverstein, a Jewish ancestral name.
Wasn't there a band called Silverstein?
Clue number 3. His on-stage persona is a take on the Buddy Love character from The Nutty Professor. You look bewildered.
Yeah.
Clue number 4. Made appearances in TV shows like MASH and Different Strokes, and in movies titled Night Patrol, Pretty in Pink, and Brain Smasher, A Love Story. Clue number 5. Has released comedy albums titled Filth, The Day the Laughter Died, and Face Down, Ass Up.
Boy, I don't know if I'm going to get this one. All right, I'm cashing in my 2 guesses.
Ooh. Okay, well, then you only get 1 solitary guess, so it's for all the marbles there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Full weight of what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, go big or go home.
That's right.
Clue number 6. is known for wearing a leather jacket and chain smoking on stage?
I don't know. I don't know who this is.
You want to take a second to think? Would you like me to reread these, perhaps?
No, I'll just say Eddie Murphy and lose, and we'll go on.
It was not Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, I know.
It was Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah, I never heard of that guy.
Really? So clue number 6 could have been his nickname is the Dice Man, and you would have no idea?
That is correct.
Jesus Christ.
I think my age might have gotten the better of me on this one.
Oh, boy. How old are you?
31.
You're only 4 years younger than I am.
Well,
what the fuck?
I don't know. Maybe those years mattered.
Oh, God, Andrew Dice. He has such a filthy mouth, and that's why I picked him for this episode. All his sexual euphemisms and all the bravado.
Bisexuals are my favorite. They're cute, aren't they? They must get up in the morning and flip a coin. Yeah, heads, I want hair pie. Tails, balls across the nose. I mean, what kind of menu is this?
So what do I get to sing today?
Well, you will be singing Harry Chapin's Cats in the Cradle.
Oh, boy.
And I will give you the benefit of a backing track.
I'm going to stumble through this like a son of a bitch.
Do you know the song?
Yeah, I've heard it once or twice. Just the other day, he came to the world in a usual way, but there was a blah, 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 blah.
He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it, and as he grew, he said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. I'm going to help you out with this next one. Turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad. Come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today. Got a lot to do. He said, that's okay. And he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. Said, I'm gonna be like him. Yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. I ad-libbed some lyrics. The fucking cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man in the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when. We'll get together then, motherfucker. You know we'll have a good time then. That's as far as I went with the song, so we don't have to sing anymore. Well, thank you for being a sport with that.
Yeah. Wow.
What a fun time.
Jeez. That was amazing.
Interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin and Friends. We are on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
And I am Jake.
Good night.